Jason, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
How can I help you, sir?
I'm here for the construction.
Okay. Did you watch our video?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So while you're watching the video, did you have any kind of questions pertaining to it?
Not really.
Okay. Because we did explain our classroom. Michael Junga, one of our instructors, had talked about the classroom experience that you guys have been doing probably 40% of the time. And then the time in the shop is included in that 40% of the time. And then the rest of the time is pretty much going to be over on the job site, which is a house. As far as tool usage and safety, our number one primary consideration. Classroom time is going to be safety, construction safety 101, along with learning how to read some blueprints, tool usage, framing concepts, and then we'll be over on the job site actually doing, as we was talking about in the video, building the house from the ground up. So based on that, you got any questions for me?
What kind of certifications do you have to have?
What you have to have or what you're going to get?
Or what you're gonna get?
Okay, so basically we're doing a dual credit with Ivy Tech. So you'll get 9 in the 2-year time, you'll get 9 dual credits, Ivy Tech dual credits, and that's in basic construction safety, and then basic carpentry, and then roof framing system. So you'll have, and then as far as certifications, you'll have 3 certifications in each one of those areas I just mentioned.
Okay.
Okay. So are you interested?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay. What school are you from?
New Albany.
Okay. I've got a lot of New Albany students right now that's very successful in the class. So, and as in make sure, I'm sure we'll be done with this COVID next year. This year we're not building a house. We finished up a house that we was on last year. In fact, it's already been sold. And then, but early next year, our goal is to get you started on the house. So that way, when you guys come in and you get your classroom time done, then you'll be out on the job site the majority of the time. Okay.
Yep.
Have you done any kind of construction like this before?
I've built some decks
Okay. With a family member or uncle or who?
with my dad.
Yeah. Is your dad in the business?
No.
Okay. So it's just something that you guys just kind of taken on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I liked it a lot.
So good. So hopefully we can improve on the knowledge that you know right now as far as deck construction. And what we're looking to do for every one of our students going out as far as graduating on their senior year is our job placement, if you're looking to stay in construction, has been stellar. And we can get you a job as long as you like to work.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
So you got any more questions?
Nope.
Okay. I'll see you later, sir. Hopefully I'll see you next year.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Edwin, are you there?
Hello. Sorry, had a problem.
No, you're fine. What can you got any questions?
No, just heard this thing was going around and trying to take a look at it and see, how this construction program is.
Did you look at our video by any chance?
I saw one from YouTube that was put, and it talked a little bit about how the construction worked out.
As far as you seen, basically we had a little classroom time, we had a little shop time, and then basically we was over at the house. Is that the video you seen?
Yeah.
Okay, so primarily here, your junior year, you'd pretty much take a crash course on construction. Get you
Oh, okay.
familiar with basic construction safety, hand and power tool safety, and then framing concepts.
Mhm.
That being said, we do a lot of learning in the shop too, and we'll get you over on the job site building a house your junior year.
Okay.
So if you're kind of, I'm not sure if you're familiar with construction or,
Yeah, my father actually he does a lot of drywall and other things, so
you
I have
know,
a little knowledge of that so far.
okay, that's good. So you've been out on a job site then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the job sites you've been out on are going to look the same to our job site. It's
Okay.
right. It's right here at the school. We got our own subdivision that we're building. So basically, the job sites that you've been on is exactly like ours. So it's no different except for it's our classroom.
Mhm. Okay.
So you got any other classes that you're looking at other than this?
No, not really. Well, I was also looking into a little bit of healthcare, but mostly construction or
Yeah.
electricity was also one of the programs I was looking into.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that one's not coming in until a few days, isn't it?
I think it's going to be available tomorrow.
Tomorrow, actually. Okay, so I'll probably be looking into that. But thank you very much for your time.
Well,
I
thank
wanted
you.
to know how it worked out. Yeah.
Well, if you do think of any more questions, then just come back to me and we'll try to answer them for you, Edwin.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Zimmer, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Mr. Zimmer.
Yes, ma'am.
I have my son. He's in the 9th grade, and he would like to ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. His name is Austin.
Okay. Hey, Austin, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. I just had a question.
Sure.
If I'm in the 9th grade and I'm getting ready for like Prosser and what I wanted, or if I'm gonna do construction, what tools do I need to start working with?
Do you have any shop classes in your school right now?
Yeah, I'm in one right now. Construction, intro to construction and manufacturing.
Okay, so you guys use a tape measure, right?
Yeah.
Sharpen up on your tape measure.
Okay.
And what kind of tools are you guys into right now in your construction class?
Well, this semester is manufacturing, so we're doing like a planer and everything. But in construction, we did like hand saws and sanders, and we did what's that one called? It's like a Zawzall.
Okay, like a reciprocating saw.
Yeah, reciprocating saw.
Yeah. Okay, so you probably won't get into skill saws until maybe next year. Is that what you're saying?
We got into them this year at the start of our class.
Okay. So probably one of the best things that you can do to get ready for my class, if you're going to join me, is be very proficient at that measuring tape. And probably one of the hardest things for students to get used to is the skill saw. Most any of the other tools they do a really good job with, and until they got to use the skill saw consistently, and then it's probably one of the most difficult things to do. And I kind of got a system that we do as far as to where everybody's hopefully looking at the same thing as far as, and I kind of reference it as shooting a gun. Use the sight on that skill saw just like if you were shooting a gun. That way you can be consistent and accurate.
Okay.
But other than that, that would be some of the students that's been in the former construction classes. Just, any little bit of knowledge that you can pick up from them before you come here is going to make you feel more comfortable in this classroom.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So, Mr. Zimmer, just kind of talking to you while we're waiting, what kind of like PPE do they need as far as to come to your construction class?
Well, he doesn't actually need to have any. We're going to issue him a hard hat. We're going to issue him some safety glasses. Well, I better retract what I said. If he needs some gloves, there's a lot of my students that won't work without gloves. If he's one of those, then he'll need a good set of gloves and some boots. And when we're talking about boots, we won't necessarily need the steel toe, but just a good solid pair of boots that's got some good ankle support. That's basically what we're looking for.
Okay.
And we will be outdoors, and we do have lockers that we put our tools and our clothes in. And being that it's new construction, it's going to be dirty, going to be muddy, to where if he does have some work clothes, such as like a set of bibs and a couple sweatshirts to layer up in, that he can work in and then change into school clothes when he leaves.
Okay.
Other than that, we'll send him, we'll get him everything that he needs.
Okay. So typically what he would wear out on the farm during the wintertime would be appropriate for what he would wear here.
Exactly so. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, do they have any extra classes or any extra certifications that they need to get after your class, like after they would graduate as a senior, to be able to go out into the construction workforce? Or how does that work for them after graduation?
Well, after graduation, what we hope for him to do, we try to get everybody right out on a job site. And basically right now with all of our advisory, everybody's hiring, and we can, by the time we go through our mock interviews, by the time we do our sign-in day, most of our seniors have at least 3 opportunities to go to. So what we really hope for them to do is come in, do a lot of learning, kind of get very confident in what they're doing, and go right to work. And we can put them right on job site.
Okay, that's fantastic.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, fantastic. So you have quite a few places that are looking consistently for people to come in and work.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
The hardest part about that is you take the student that's got 3 opportunities. The hardest part, even though we got sign-in day now to where you think they're committed, is actually getting them to the job site after they graduate.
Right. So staying committed and showing up every day.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Zimmer, I do have another question.
Okay.
Okay, so what all parts of like building the house do you guys do versus, I know you have other programs that help you guys out at Prosser, but what all do you guys do as far as like building the house? Do you guys do like the roofing and all that other kind of stuff too? Or tell me about that.
It's easier to tell you what we don't do.
Okay, well, let's go that route then.
The 3 major things that actually I can think of 4 right off the hand. We'll actually, the concrete work, the basement is done for us. So when we're getting ready to get on the job site, basically you will get onto the job site our first day, and the basement is all finished up for us. And that's when we start putting sill plates on. Next, once the house is framed up and into dry, which means it's got the roof on it, it's got the felt on it, it's got the window and doors on it. The next thing that's actually done for us is the electrical work, and our class comes in and does that electrical work. And then the plumbing. Right now we got an outside plumber that actually comes in and does our plumbing work. The only other thing that's done for us then, as in next, is finishing drywall. And then other than that, that's the 4 things that we do not do. Everything else we do. So primarily, we'll do all the framing. We will do some insulation as far as traditional fiberglass insulation in the garage, but the rest of the insulation is a foam insulation that is sprayed in for us. I guess I should have said that, because what we're trying to do is build an energy efficient home. So we do use that foam insulation. After the foam, we will do our own drywall work. We will do our own painting, and that's not only painting of the drywall, but we paint the trim. We set our shop up in a big spray booth and spray all of our doors and all of our casing and all of our baseboard. Once that's done, then before we actually put that trim work in the house, we'll go back to the house, we'll paint the drywall, we'll put the floor coverings such as laminate, hardwood, and tile floors in. Then we'll go back in and do the installation of the trim as far as doors, as far as putting all the baseboard, as far as casing around the windows. Then that'll actually pretty much get us pretty close to where we can go ahead and start our cabinet installation, putting vanities in the bathrooms, putting cabinets in the laundry rooms, and then installing the cabinets in the kitchen. Another thing we'll probably be involved in, and most of these houses got exterior decks, and we'll probably be putting a deck on the outside. So we do the majority of it. As I'm thinking about this is our coming into next year. We will not have our own masonry class, but we are going to be able to assist whoever does the masonry work. So some of the guys that if they feel that they want to help out in that, then we're going to get them participating in that also. But all the shingling, and I did not mention that. I did mention drying it in, getting the felt on the roof, but we will do all the shingling also.
That's super impressive. That is a lot of work to go into it. I know when we built our house, there's so many steps that go into it, and that is so many of them that you guys do just by yourselves.
Well, when we sit down and actually think about what, because construction's actually broke down to many different specialties.
Oh, absolutely.
And what last count that I had, we had 17 different specialties that we cover in a house build.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was including the masonry, and I'm going to keep that on our list because we are going to have a taste in that. Not as much as we used to, but we are going to have a taste in that masonry.
Correct.
But we do cover a lot of ground. It's just a matter of trying to, by doing that, not everybody's going to be involved in every aspect, but what we hope for them to do is get a taste of something that they really enjoy.
Right.
And say it might be floor coverings as far as putting that hardwood laminate down, and someone today can make a darn good living just putting that laminate flooring down.
Oh, absolutely.
Or even the tile floor, or installing cabinets, or painting, and it's trim work. It's endless of what you can say that you could do if you wanted to.
Well, that's what I think amazed me is like when we built our house is there was constantly someone different coming in doing a different job. And
Yep.
I was, is there ever anybody the same in here? And they were like, no, because there's different people who specialize in different things. And then when listening to you, and I'm like, wow, they do everything. That's why I was asking. But listening to you talk, you're correct. Just finding that niche that you have is what, what you want to do for them. So, finding that specialty that they want to go into.
Yeah.
So-
And it's kind of a different world, because the world I grew up in, when I was on the job site, when I grew up on the job site, and when I had my own general contracting, I did it all. So
Right.
every aspect of it, the only thing that I could not do based on the fact that I didn't have the license to do it was the plumbing.
Correct.
Even though I've done plenty of my own plumbing, and I've done a lot of my own electrical. See, the last house I built before I took this job on, plumbing was the only thing I didn't do.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's just a matter of, today it's a different world to where everything's broke down into specialties. And what it is to be a general contractor today, to be good on the phone.
Yeah,
If you can call everybody to come join you, that's what that's how a general contractor, that's what most of them do.
that is correct, because the general contractors don't really do the job. They hire everybody else out to do the job. So
That is correct.
we learned that very fast. That
Yep.
is for sure. But that's fantastic. Now, what is the kind of the ratio or the idea? Do you have students that go into like residential construction versus like commercial construction?
Well, we're looking out for the best of our student. And even though I grew up in the residential world is not the place to be if you're wanting good insurance and the best pay.
Correct.
So we have a lot of good opportunities in the commercial field, and we try to get them to the commercial field.
Okay.
That's not saying that they will not end up in a residential, because a lot of them, they may start out in the residential field to where just get the feel of it, getting confidence, starting with somebody that they might be familiar with, and then they move on to another job or even work for themselves. But what we try to do is, and we got enough opportunities for them to get into the commercial side to where they got a good insurance and good pay.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know the difference between the idea of the pay versus the insurance, or, the added benefits of it. So that's very good to know, especially if you're young and you're going into that field.
Right.
And especially if you're wanting to get a family involved, because you need to know those with those added benefits. So that is a very good thing to know.
Well, kind of back to what you originally asked me about the pay it, and a lot of contractors, what they'll do now, you got to think back to what we were just saying, as far as they're good on calling people. They won't even actually hire them as an employee. They'll hire them and have them on the job site, but they're treating them as a sub, which means that they don't even have any insurance. Their insurance is on them. And then as far as the pay, they'll pay him, but then they got to take out their own taxes. So you got to be really careful about some residential guys, not all. We got some good residential people out there that will insure them, that will pay them decent, but we still have a better opportunity on the commercial side.
Very good information to know, especially, like I said, if you're getting out there and you're planning on starting a family, or, just getting that income to come in, because taxes are one thing that you definitely want to focus on. And that's one thing that, that kids need to be taught too, as far as, their income goes, because they may think, oh, I'm making a higher dollar right now doing this. But then when it comes to that tax time, then they get hit that hard way and they're like, oh my word, something's going to happen here. So yeah, that's good information. That is very good information.
Yeah, they don't want to be surprised at the end, because here they thought they made all these thousands of dollars, and then and they spend their money, and they learn that they got to end up paying those taxes. That's not a good scenario.
Once, right? So we know how it is being young, and you want to earn that money and you want to spend it, right? So, and that's very good information to have as being, coming out of high school and stuff like that. So very good information.
That's good.
But I appreciate you answering my questions as far as that goes, because that helps me, especially with having 2 ninth graders that are interested in like the construction, building trades, going into like heavy equipment, some kind of field in that general aspect, because that's something that I don't know a whole lot about, being in the dental field. So that answers a whole lot of questions on the standpoint of that. So hopefully you'll be seeing both of them here in a couple of years. So they're very super excited about
when we open them back up for tours, are they able to come over and tour at all?
Yes, so they go to South Central, and they're
Okay.
they will bring them in as sophomores, I believe. So we're hoping that at least next year they'll start opening it up so that they can come next year. So
Yeah.
we'll normally bring them in as freshmen, but I doubt that will get opened up this year for the
Right.
tour. But here's to hoping. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and here's to hoping that later on in the year they'll at least open it to the ones that want to make it in, and we'll maybe have an open day where they can come in and see it. But hopefully next year they'll be able to come in and have that opportunity to be able to look around and, just see the different aspects of it and be able to talk to you guys like one-on-one. So,
Right. Well, be sure that if Austin does come in, just be sure that if we are in the classroom or in the shop area, have him introduce himself. That way we get to know each other. And if he does have any questions, we can be sure to answer his questions and make him feel at home.
okay, I'll do that. So,
Okay.
yeah, I would tell him to bring one or two of his little things in that he's made, but I think he gave them out for Christmas presents.
No, that's good. I've done a lot of that too.
Right?
What kinds of things was those?
Well, do you want to grab one of them? They don't have their family Christmas party until this coming Saturday, like our family. So because of COVID, we had to put it off. So I think he's going to grab one of them and show you really
Okay.
quick. They made a toolbox.
All right.
And then I forget, they made some kind of like key hanger things, and him and his brother are both in there because they're twins. So they're in separate classes though. His brother made Christmas ornaments with our names on them in
Yeah.
the class. So I'm going to turn my camera on here. Let's see if I can see myself. See if I can.
So with ornaments, was they CNC machines that he got to use?
Yes, they was. So this is one of the things that Austin made. Can
Oh,
you see?
wow.
So he made this. And then where's your other thing, Austin? Oh, he made this.
Tool tray. Good deal.
So
Yeah, that looks nice.
yeah. So I think those were both their first semester
Good.
projects.
Construction.
So
Yeah, now we're in manufacturing.
yeah, so now they're in manufacturing. So they're dipping into both of the little
Now we're
projects.
making cutting boards.
Oh, they're making cutting boards right now.
Good deal. So Austin, what kind of wood you making your cutting board out of?
Here, do you want to help me?
Pine.
You're making it out of pine.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you laminating together? Is that how you're making that cutting board?
Yes.
Taking several small pieces and then clamp them together, gluing and clamping them?
Yeah. So we're making strips and then we're putting them together.
Well, that's good. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool. What kind of handle is it going to have on it? Or is it going to have a handle?
I don't think these ones are gonna have a handle on them.
No.
Mm-mm.
So back to that key hanger that you had there. Did you use the bandsaw or the scroll saw to cut that out?
I used the curl saw, like the drum sander, like
Right.
to come in here, but I used a reciprocating saw to I drilled a hole in it and then I cut it with that and got it close and then used that drum sander to sand it out.
I see. Now, I might have spoke wrong when I said a reciprocating saw. That might have been a jigsaw that you was using on that.
Jigsaw.
Yeah. I mean, they got the same action, but a reciprocating saw, it's a little bit bigger, got a bigger blade that you use on it.
Yeah.
But it looks like you've done a pretty good job on that.
Thank you.
Now all you got to do is hang a bunch of keys on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All in time. You'll have it filled up.
Yeah. So now they just go down there and they just cut all of our extra boards at the barn.
Well, and that's all right, because what I want them to do is walk in the room being confident, and that's part of it.
Right. But we had one of my daughter's show steer stepped in one of the feed troughs and broke it, and Austin fixed it back for us. So
There you go.
I was super excited about that.
No doubt. Nothing better than being able to take all that good knowledge and putting it to work. I'll tell you that.
Correct. But well, we appreciate your time.
Well, we thank you for asking questions. Otherwise, I'd been sitting here looking at myself.
No problem. So I guess we'll go ahead, and since it's past 6:30, we'll go ahead and stop recording and end it. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am.